15 meeting, family time review, Courtney and Amanda. Can't find the bloody link now.
Hello, you have reached the phone of Courtney Nicholson. Unfortunately, I'm not able to take your call right now. Please send me a text message, or if your query is urgent, please contact the rugby office on 01926 413 389. Thank you. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Please, Courtney, it's Mr. Dawes. Could you call me back or email me straight away, please? I want to resolve the meeting today so I can have it set so I can see my children sooner, please. Where is it? Bloody thing, why does it go awkward?
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hello. Apologies, that was my fault. I didn't send a Teams link originally. I sent an in-person one, so sorry that there's been a bit of confusion.
Yeah, my phone
So you
didn't
sure?
like it.
Oh, so I know you said we were looking at the day, but you wanted to go ahead today, Chris. So just checking you're okay for us to go ahead.
Yeah. It's a difficult situation to be able to travel right this minute.
No, that's okay.
No, we understand.
Yeah. So obviously, we just wanted to meet to talk about family time, and I can kind of hear in your email kind of of course, you want to move forward, and you can kind of hear that from the tone of your email, and I understand that, and that's why when I said to Courtney, if he's really unwell, let's rearrange, but then you email saying, look, I just want to go ahead, and we're happy to have it virtually as long as you get to share how you're feeling, and we can come up with a plan moving forward. So does that sound okay for you, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel like I know it's not what you want, it goes without saying, but how do you feel like the phone calls, the FaceTime has gone so far? Like, how's things been going?
They love seeing me, but it's not the same, and it will never be the same.
Yeah.
You guys have described me and shelved it in your heads that I'm not that affectionate or caring towards my kids in whatever way you guys want to put that towards the courts and to keep control of us, but I am caring, I am affectionate, and these are the things that I thrive off, and they've had that taken away from them because of your bad decisions.
I think, Chris, and I appreciate how you feel, and I know that we have different perspectives on a few things, but one thing that I hope I've never made you feel is that we don't believe that you love your children, and we know from the feedback in family time that you're very involved and very affectionate with all of the children, and that's definitely seen. I think the issues, I suppose, that led to us having to change your family time is around the different views that you have towards us as a local authority, which again we respect that you have your view, and about how that is discussed within family time. And I think it's been such a shame because you do bring so many positives to family time, and we know that the children enjoy going to see you. We've never denied that, and I think that's why.
But we've wanted to have meetings with you, Courtney, specifically with you, and the children have wanted to request doing more than just sitting in that building when other families they see, and they do see them because they go and come back, they go to McDonald's or they go to somewhere else, and it's very clear that's allowed, and my children don't want to be cooped up in a place where they're being monitored in the way that they are, and we've expressed that multiple times. Sonia's even explained it in her reactions to being there and why she doesn't want to be there. It's not because of me, it's because of them.
We recognise
Yeah, but it's a little too late to recognise it when you've taken away so much, when we've brought it to your attention repeatedly and you keep ignoring it.
The thing is, Chris, is that obviously you would know this, is that every family is individual, and every case, everything's individual, so we have to assess each family and each parent and the risks individually. So obviously I can't talk on behalf of all them other families, but you are right, we do have other families that go out into the community, and that would be our goal for you. But obviously, and like Courtney said, today's about looking forward, so I appreciate, Chris, in regards to your view. I don't want to minimise that, and it's okay for you to have, obviously your feelings are very valid, but what I'm trying to say is that we've got to look at moving forward, and what we want to do is try and reintroduce direct family time, and then it's always kept in review, and that's our promise. If things continue to go, if things were to start off and then continue to go well, we can look at going out in the community. But obviously,
to me, that sounds like you just don't have a deadline or an achievement goal. You just want to do it on when you feel that you can.
We need something from you, Chris. We need. I'll be honest.
But we've asked and we've raised these issues up a very long time ago. The problem is, every time we're ignored and we keep expressing it, we get a negative response from you guys, and that is a result. You can't say that isn't, because you can't say that your actions have led in a... Excuse me, you can't say that your actions have ever led in a positive way for all of us collectively. You've always done with a punishment level.
For you, Chris, I would say your behaviour in family time, and it's okay for you to disagree, I appreciate that, but I would say your behaviour in family time has led to it being stopped. So my
because
view,
we kept raising the issues that you was ignoring.
Sorry,
Well, I hadn't finished either, so that was the problem.
Okay.
We got to raise the issues and have a meeting.
I don't think we're going to be able to agree, sorry.
We can agree. That's a possibility.
We can agree moving forward, but what I mean is we can't. I'm saying, from the local authority point of view, you're saying, look, we feel let down and we feel that your actions haven't helped us moving forward as a family, whereas I'm saying that actually that family time hasn't gone into the community because we've had to stop family time because of the concerns we've had, but you don't agree with that, and obviously I don't agree with your view.
Well,
so
I can give a good example to when we had a perfect time out in the community, and that was when we were situated around Woodbridge at the time, and we went to that place that had a massive facility for children of all ages, and it was fantastic. We got to do stuff with the twins, and we got to do some stuff, we planned on doing some stuff with the older children there because there was so much to do. There was go-karts, there was rock climbing, there was a massive adventure playground to run around, all the stuff that we would normally gravitate towards in the past and had done, because we got a facility in rugby, but we're not exactly fans of it because it was going into a bit of disrepair and there was a lot of controversy around the place anyway, so we were just avoiding it for the negativities. But the place we found in Northampton that we went to was such a great report, and when we emphasised that in meetings and wanting to do that, you guys somehow either deliberately or didn't do it on purpose, I don't know which, because that's just my accusations, and from my experience I feel like you did it on purpose, but you gravitated away from ever allowing us to repeat that, because that was a great day, that was a good day, everyone was happy, we had a glowing report from that.
Sounds like a really
no
nice
negative
day,
but that's the example that you already have, but you guys keep refusing to acknowledge that is possible. You keep referring to a negative that hasn't happened, and that's what I'm stuck on. You're not there at the visitations, so you're not getting first-hand experience of what it's like to be around me and my children.
I think ultimately, Chris, to move forward, and Amanda and I have said that we would really like, and for the children, we know the children would love to be able to go out and repeat those activities with you. We know that, and I've heard from Sonia.
That's normal life. It's not just repeating it because you guys are there. We took them on holidays. We even had a complaint years ago that came through social services turning up at our door, inquiring a really kind of out there complaint, which we did discuss and laugh about it, because it was a really redundant complaint that I don't take my children anywhere or take them on holiday. And we'd literally, that 3 days or 4 days, just got back from Wales from having a summer holiday with a family member they hadn't met in the family tree, who's not around anymore because COVID took them. So they've lost that experience from further on, so we wanted to build more, and we even had a planned holiday for Somerset to take all of the children down there, and you guys interrupted all of that. And
Chris, are you going to let Courtney respond? Because I think she wants to respond.
But you can see what I'm saying, though, that we would have normality of doing these things, and you guys don't accept that or acknowledge that that's what we would be doing.
But I think the difficulty is, Chris, is obviously I'm going to let Courtney respond in regards to the family time going out, but I think it is really difficult because you're in a really difficult situation where you are involved with the local community, there is care orders for the children, and these things are impossible, but it's not that we can't move towards that, but right now we're not even having direct family time, Chris, so we've got to start off with something and we've got to review it. You've seen it, because you've seen the evidence of families going out in the community, and all them families.
What goals did they meet, and what deadlines did they have to meet?
Well, I think it's about seeing consistency, Chris.
But I work on that level of stuff. So if you guys want me to work with you and vice versa, you have to acknowledge my character is built on goals, and that's what I do.
We do, Chris, because we have. And I know you were saying that we're not there. But the direct feedback, which led to obviously where we are now, was the concerns around what you were saying to the children, and it's very difficult.
No, just my older daughter, Melissa. Just my older daughter Melissa, because I was concerned and she was raising up issues and I was answering them, and then we were being told not to talk, which upset me. And I was referring to the documents that I'd already asked that worker to be asked by you guys to be passed on to me. That was the biggest issue that I was having to deal with, that those reports weren't being passed on to me. Your lawyers had sent an email saying that those documents would be sent. Now, why didn't you guys do it?
Because I don't want to.
But no, that's a straightforward question, though. Can we have a straightforward? Come on, let's just have some common respect there. It's a straightforward question. That request.
Well, what was the question, Chris? What question?
The request for those family time recordings from you guys.
Yeah, they get sent to legal. Yeah.
Right, I had requested many months ago for those documents, and I had said it had been agreed multiple times that would happen, but it wasn't happening, and I was asking for them all over again and again and getting stressed out about it, because you guys have proven some deceit in the past. It may not be yourselves, but I have the evidence to back that up anyway. Whether a judge wants to look at it or not, I'm really disappointed at that, because some people should take accountability for their mistakes, and that should always be a way to mature in life. But, you know, I have to take responsibility for any mistakes that I have, and you guys want to endorse that more than ever. I think we will own up to anything I feel that I am responsible for. And I will always do that.
Sorry, can I try and bring the conversation back to talking about moving forward? Because I think that's the reason that we're here today.
Well, we did have the question that
you could just let me
that you wanted to ask.
I did ask the question, Chris. So let's move on, because they weren't sent and legal had them.
But why didn't you guys send them to me? Because memos were sent your way.
Basically, legal tried to send you the bundle. It was too big. I printed it off. That as simple as it is.
No. That's at a later date. I'm talking about all the requests for them previously. Why were they ignored?
Chris.
But why was it ignored for so long?
Chris, I don't think we're going to be able to come to an agreement.
Chris, you've attended this meeting.
Okay, you can't answer the question.
Your family time, so I suggest we talk about family time.
Yeah, I want to, but you know, I wanted to have a grown-up conversation about everything as well at some point, so we could resolve and move forwards.
Yeah, and I understand, but equally we're not going to reach a conclusion if you don't let me speak either, because we're here to talk about family time and it moving forward. Okay, and I don't want to invalidate your views towards everything else in the proceedings, but today we're here to talk about moving family time forward. So I think it's right that we discuss that, because I don't want you leaving today without an outcome, because that's what happened last time.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I wanted to have a meeting, and you guys didn't want to have a meeting, and that was the outcome.
But let's focus on today, because we're here and talking to you today. You know, and we're having this meeting, and it's impossible to talk about everything that's happened over the last however many years. The most important thing for the children and for you and for Sonia is about family time.
Yeah.
And I think it's right that
I think it'd be brilliant if you guys set some goals in place so we can achieve those goals.
Yeah, and I think that would be a really good way of
it's an example of who I am and what I can bring a credibility to, and I think that would be a lot more fairer than just leaving it to a whim of whenever, or whenever the reviews get reviewed.
Family time review.
Yeah.
We all then know what we're working towards, don't we? I think, Chris, like Amanda said, at the minute you're not having any direct family time, so that's the natural starting
we know
point.
that.
It's for you to be seeing the children directly at Clifton Road where you were before.
With the set times, if not slightly increased, would be better, because Sonia does need that extra ability to rest and such.
Yeah.
I can have solo time with Jessica. I could have time with the twins, because all three of them's great. But I can see Sonia's difficulty, and I do occasionally need an extra pair of hands, which are there available, especially with one of the workers there that I get really well on with. She
Is it
She
Lucy?
understands.
Lucy,
She, you know, we have had some conversations you probably wouldn't like,
It's
but
Lucy,
there are just
exactly.
generalisation
It's Lucy.
questions and things. So I'm not pushing the boat too hard, but I will say that I have had conversations with them because they want an understanding of me, and I feel like I need to give an understanding of me because it has been a horrible time. You guys have never apologised for the accusations that you've dropped from court. You know, I mean, you've said
Chris,
some
just going back
horrible
to that
things.
worker, is it Lucy that you
I believe that's one of them. Yeah, I get on with very well.
I think the children, Emily and Melissa said they really like Lucy as well. And
Yeah, it's because she hasn't got
her.
that aggressive, authoritative persona that one or two of the others have presented and has offended my children.
Okay.
Which we've discussed, but
So
I don't think you guys really took the account of it, other than we didn't see those people for some time.
So I think it sounds as though it would be important for you and for the children that we try and have Lucy involved in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to overwhelm her as well. I mean, it's up to her as well, really, isn't it?
We'll speak to her manager and see what she's got available. I think you'd actually already expressed that in an email, and Courtney had passed that on. This is before we got to this stage, so because obviously we need to speak to Dominique, and that's the manager of that team, and see when Lucy's available and see what she can help with.
So I think what we, Amanda and I, can do today is try and speak to Dominique about times that she has available. Obviously now the twins are in nursery, so we need to think about it being around that as well, don't we?
Yes, of course. There's scheduling to be re-improved, but there would be plenty of time that I am available. I'm going to have to say though, with my it's my medical condition at the moment. It's because I'm in recovery state. I will occasionally still pass some blood on, and it's more than likely going to be late night or early morning periods. So generally midday onwards I'll be fine pretty much all the time, or just a bit sore and grumpy, but you know, it's the territory I have to go with.
11, 12ish.
11, 12 onwards.
Well, no, I mean, I can do sometimes earlier than that. I can do like 10:30, 10 o'clock. But
there's a starting point.
There still will always be that chance, and you guys have to not hold it against me in court like you've done before, which was an offence. You know, really did put a rift between us working better, because I do feel that it was still a lie for what it was worth.
Is that about you being unwell? Sorry, Chris.
Yes, how it wasn't expressed enough in a positive manner, and was held against me in very vague terms that I didn't attend so many things and such and such.
So have you got like I know you said any day is okay for you, but there's no like set ongoing medical appointments, or it's just as they come through?
I've got some physio stuff I've got to make sure it's in place, and I've got to schedule my own physio for it as well. So I've had conversations with the doctor, so it's more of a case of if things get a little bit worse for me, then I can get the NHS's help. But I've also been offered he did say something about he's got a friend who owns a gym. It was literally plug-in business, but doesn't matter. I've got a gym anyway, so I've discussed that out. You know, I've got the equipment, I can do it myself. Obviously, there's some things I can't do at the moment, so I'm improving my health physically massively anyway while I have the opportunity.
Good.
It is kind of a grim mindset though, of reason why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, because I still feel like I'm imprisoned in this place, but it's the only place you guys can't make false accusations and have against me like you have in the past.
Okay, so you're saying you've got the physio which you'll arrange, and obviously you just want
added to extra care if I need to, but I have my own level that I've agreed in terms with the doctors that I'm capable of doing.
So we will speak to Dominique today and get some times that we can see the children. In terms of how that's split, Chris, Emily and Melissa, I think before, were really benefiting from seeing you separately, and were really enjoying having one-on-one time.
I mean, I expressed that to you before, and you had a negative stance on that originally, and I don't know why. I mean, I explained it very thoroughly.
I mean, we arranged it, didn't we?
You didn't arrange it. I kind of forced it through. I made sure that it happened.
Well, let's focus on moving forward, Chris.
That's a positive though, isn't it? Because you guys were lacking, and I made sure I stepped up and made it happen for my children.
And I think what Courtney was speaking to me, obviously, because I directly manage Courtney, and we discussed things. She was saying before we went into this meeting that actually that how Melissa has really struggled due to her needs and what's happening during the phone calls, and how we need to look at how she sees you, because how they benefited from it. And I've read family time recordings, as Courtney has, which was outlined in her evidence, about all the positives. So there is positives, so let's try and hold on to that.
There are some negatives that are untrue in there as well. There are some strong out of context stuff as well, which I kind of feel that I've wanted to bring this up in that pre-existing request for a meeting with you.
Yeah, but is that about something else? Then is what you're saying?
That there are some untruths in those reports, and they're being used against me currently.
Let's keep this to family time.
Well, it is family time because I've had it's the one issue that's been brought up, that's apparently I'm being negative or abusive to Melissa about her sexuality, when I've expressed and talked about that very clearly in positive terms for her to understand and deal with, that I'm more concerned about her individuality than her sexuality.
And we have seen and spoken to you before that actually, Melissa has felt able to come and talk to you about that and how she feels, which is really positive. So that's...
Well, I mean, it's not just positive, it's one of my strongest strengths, that I do have good advice, I do have out-of-the-box thinking, and as much as I am self-aware of other people. You could say I'm a bit of a... What's the word? Is it empath? When you can connect emotionally. I had a lot of moments like that I can reflect on, even in my childhood. I can remember hearing someone else's parents dying, and it really hit me hard, and it was only in a very, very brief conversation, but I felt their pain, and we even cried together and stuff like that, but that's just what things are.
So I think we'll speak to Dominique about times that you can see the children. One thing that I did want to ask you about though, Chris, and I'm not suggesting this instead of direct family time with Emily, but what I've heard from Alicia, who's sat in on, and Lucy, who's sat in on the calls, is that they feel that Emily seems to have really interacted well with having you on kind of the phone and FaceTime, and has been really kind of engaged with you. And so I didn't know what you would think about having a combination of direct and indirect with Emily in particular, just because she seems to be quite enjoying, and when she's been spoken to has said that she quite likes being able to see from home on the screen.
I mean, I don't know how you guys perceive it, but it's just that the respective authority a father has with their children, and that's always something that I try to achieve with them, that they have fairness within that abilities that I can give towards them. So generalising conversation, the issues we've brought up recently about the children not going into school could be resolved with a phone call with me. It really is that simple. It really is. I mean, it's a lot of ground to cover now, so it's gonna take a couple of attempts to achieve it now, where the damage is already in place. So the stalling practice of that would only make things worse. But just seeing me on visitations in person is going to already reflect them going better at school again, that it has done every time in the past. Especially when I made sure that they had more individual time, because I wanted to work on some, like maybe a bit of school stuff and that, which was difficult, and they were not really generating towards it. They just wanted to have some food and see me, but I still want to have that ability to do that stuff. And I do think that visitations need to expand into that direction in the future at some point, because I need to be there from the children as I have been in the past, like doing the school work and such. I did take over one school project for Emily, but
and we agree with that, Chris. We do agree with that. We obviously, the area of that that's impossible is around the injunction. Obviously, we can't just permit for you to phone. It would have to be in the same
You guys have to
format,
acknowledge that there was a judge that said you shouldn't have brought an injunction to the court, and it shouldn't happen.
But an injunction is in place.
I know, but that court day did happen. We did have a whole court day agreed upon. You guys don't like talking about it. I know.
We're not here to debate the injunction. The injunction
that's not going to help, is it? Because it's in place.
You brought it up.
It would have to. No.
What Courtney's saying is she can't allow for the family time because that would be in breach of.
It would still have
and
to
whose
be
fault is that?
means with Lucy present, but by the injunction. We're not. Or is it? Am I
Is it our
here?
signal?
I think
It was our signal. I think it went off. Can you hear us okay, Chris?
It's alright. So I've got one of these things that make sure that it cleans virus things every so often.
Oh, okay.
It just pops up telling me I've got a full bank that needs deleted of unused files. I don't know.
Oh, that might have been it then. There was a bit of a glitch, but
we're not debating whether the injunction should be in place. We stand by the injunction being required, but I'm just being clear that if those calls would still have to be supervised, and we're not going to be able to just agree that you.
Yeah, it's easy to arrange. I mean, have you not had found the conference call options on phone calls?
What I asked your view on is whether you would be in agreement to allow for some of that indirect time to continue, just because particularly, I know Melissa has struggled, but Emily seems to be enjoying having that means of communication with you on that, on a virtual platform.
Well,
so I didn't want to just take that away from her because
we still have issues with the phones and such as Sonia's telling me.
Can you hear? Oh, I can.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
We're still having some issues with Emily's behaviour at the moment and with the phones and such. I would like to organise a phone for her, but my fundings are a bit more stretched at the minute. A phone that's more really fixed under control, so she can't have all these other apps of these other social things down, because it's always going to bring an issue, and I feel that there's an ongoing issue there. And I think, if I'm right on what I've heard up the grapevine, someone of an adult age is supplying her with vapes, and I'm having a meeting with that person this weekend coming. Hopefully it doesn't go in an aggressive manner, but it certainly will be a line in the sand.
How do you know who that person is, Chris?
It's a very small town.
I'm just thinking about your safety.
It's a very small town. Well, the one thing you guys have only ever got right was that I do have some aggressive background. I had a rough bringing up. I had a lot of bullies to step above, which I did eventually with growth spurts and a lot of broccoli in my system, I would say.
You reported it to the police, Chris, this person?
Well, I haven't got the facts yet, so it's under the assumption they're meeting a child.
What was that, sorry?
They are under the assumption they are meeting a child.
Oh, Chris, I don't know if it's risk quite yet.
I don't know if I'm...
It's alright, I've done it before.
Your safety.
So, but then that's like a vigilante, is what you're saying?
No, it's not, because there's two other people that ring the police.
Tell me where, is it in the is it in public?
Yes, it's in the public, that's the problem. It's apparently it would be that playground near Avon Valley, if it's the one I've been told about. It's alright though, the police will attend. If it is an adult, if it's a child, I have to walk away straight away. If it's very clearly a child, I can't do anything. But if they are of my age, then I can make sure they can't go anywhere while the police turn up.
I know, Chris, but can you? What if they become difficult?
I've done it before. Yeah. I've done it before. I have told you in reports and that. I've got specialised training. It's very minimal, but it's only ever been defensive stuff, and it's always been useful.
I know, but you've been in wow, Chris, and what if they turned up with someone, or what if they've got people close by? It's very risky for you, isn't it? I'm just
making sure that the police will turn up if it is an adult.
Okay, and I would suggest if you're choosing to do that you make sure the police are there.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's standard. It's procedure for these two guys that deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm basically putting a bit of a public eye on this person.
So this is a person that's been buying people.
Well, the two other people. The two other people involved are actually very active on doing this on social media, and they're very prolific in the methods. It's very clear through their videos what they do, and they do it with a lot of professionalism. They don't look professional because they have to look like anybody. They can't walk up in a suit or a police outfit, can they?
No, if it is a problem, isn't
it? But, if it turns out to be a child, we just walk away from the situation and we pass on anything we know. There may be pictures taken, but that's not stuff I deal with. I don't deal with that.
Yeah. So in regards to the organised phone calls with Melissa.
Yeah.
Would you like them to continue because they've gone so well?
Well, yesterday was fantastic. She's not been great
Yeah.
on any of the other visitations because she just doesn't like it. She really hates the way things have progressed
Oh,
with
did
you
I say
guys.
Melissa? Sorry, I meant Emily, didn't I? Did I say Melissa?
With Emily,
I meant
it's
Emily,
different.
sorry.
I mean, it can be a combination of the two. That's quite achievable. She might may even ground her a bit more at home as well, or to more activities that aren't getting her into trouble. We did have an issue that we've sort of resolved through parents recently. That's just basically fizzled out almost as immediately as it started. I think there was just a few people wise to it quick before it got into a mountain's worth of trouble. But yeah, you know, that we still do things as parents as best we can. I really wasn't involved in it, but I've seen things online and that suggest they did everything correctly, and yeah. So yeah, she's all right. But I still need to see Emily. She still needs to see me, and
Oh yeah, so we're not speak to Dominique. We're not
giving her.
We just do it indirectly.
The thing is, right? Yeah. Melissa I can have that conversation with Melissa where we've done in the past, where we explain to Melissa about Emily's extra level of needs sometimes, and she has understood that because she understands the negative outcome when we don't, or have learnt the hard way. Yeah. So with Emily, if she perceives that she's getting extra time compared to Melissa, it's that, you know, that sibling rivalry stuff. She will.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, but the good point is that Melissa will accept it once I've had a conversation with her and really be happy with what she gets. Yeah.
Because
it's with Emily. It's almost like it's not like we're lying to her, but it's almost just giving her that less anguish, that less anger, that less ability to compete or compare.
The other option, Chris, I'm just thinking out loud, is that it's difficult because I know Melissa hasn't enjoyed the phone call so much, but in the interest of fairness, like you say, and in balance for the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, it can be on offer.
One week you were to see Melissa in person and Emily on Teams, and the next week it was Melissa on Teams and Emily in person, so that
it depends what hours we're still going to be doing for visitation, because if I'm only going to get 1 day a week, that's not great, you know.
We need to speak to Dominique and then.
Well, I need at least. How I say it with the children, I need at least 3 sets of times, which is Melissa, Emily, and the twins and Jessica. But with Jessica, and the twins being. You see, that's the problem there. You want to keep going with that, and we know the truth, but we want to push positive, don't we?
But that's what the care.
I mean, what we had before was, you're right, Chris. We saw Melissa separately, Emily separately, and then you saw the younger 3 together.
Yeah. Now that would be the bare minimum requirement that I need to continue with them. You can organise the times and dates, whatever, but it needs to be structured in so that it seems to be a weekly period at least. Now, if that's the bare minimum, I only get 3 separate occasions, I'll take it. Of course I'll take it. But in the interest of everything, and if you guys stop pushing with the negatives in the lives, and you give me the ability to give extra time for Jessica as well, so she can know her dad more, that would be great. Which gives Sonia a lot more freedom, a lot more rest, and a lot more time to get on with everything else, because she's telling me her ankles are killing her all the time. You know, she's told me she slept on the couch a few times because it's just easier.
Yeah.
You know, and she's got care for Jessica downstairs, and you know, she goes up and downstairs for the twins, but it's just, you know, and we've only got 1 bathroom, so it's not like she's avoiding going upstairs ever. But I'm just saying, generally, she's overtired and she needs that bigger rest bite, and it would be great.
No, 100%, yeah. Leave it with us, Chris, and Courtney will speak to Dominique today and get their availability.
So 3 minimum, but if you can work in a 4th period so there's more one-on-one with Jessica, that would be great.
Jessica.
Yeah, because running around for the twins, and then I've got Jessica either sleeping or... I mean, there's times when I don't even get to see her, really, and she's just sleeping there, and I don't want to bother her because, you know, it's important for them to have their rest.
And you're saying that just first thing in the morning and last thing, but apart from that...
Well, no, not last thing. It's going to be late at night issues. say if I've had
Oh, sorry,
an
so
anxiety
nothing's
attack
okay
again
then.
because of what's been ongoing, or any other issues, I have to really watch what I eat at the moment, which is a nightmare because it's like 4 things I can eat. 4 things. It's not fun.
Yeah,
That's really difficult. No, really difficult.
And it sounds like things have been really, really difficult in regards to, like you're saying, and I think that, you know, at the end of the day, Chris, the safety plans are in place. You just need to contact, and we appreciate if you're unwell, then there's nothing you can do about it. Like today, I appreciate.
Well, if I didn't have the police sent round on a false accusation and them shoving me on a door handle, I wouldn't be in this situation with my health.
As long as you can just give us as much notice as you can when you're feeling unwell, which I know can be difficult. But well, what we'll do then is Courtney will speak to Dominique, and then we'll get back to you. So I'm glad
you do know I never really got the apology for all of that. You know, it would have been nice from you guys to at least admit some fault there, because they came round on the accusation that my children were sleeping on the floor and they didn't have a lot, and I was accused of being basically some sort of druggie.
Like, I think we need to.
But come on, it's just
but Chris,
be nice to have acknowledgement of that.
Then, so it would have to be a formal complaint that you put in.
You sent them round.
At the end of the day, at that time, I need to look at exactly what situation you were looking at, what referral you were looking at. Was you correct? So I'm not just going to say
but was you correct?
But Chris, I'm not going to comment on that right now.
But my children had beds, they had loads of clothes,
Chris,
loads of food,
right
loads of toys.
If you want to put a formal complaint in, then you can, and it'll be looked at properly. Because I'm not saying.
Well, I won't comment much further on that subject if you don't want to.
Yeah. Because what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if there's something the local authority has done wrong, then certain parts of complaints can be upheld and apologies can be given. Chris, I know you might not believe that, but that happens.
Your lawyers have stopped that evidence being reviewed, and that's the truth.
But you can send in information to
I've offered it to you and you didn't want to see it.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to just comment off the cuff without looking at it, because a proper complaint needs a proper investigation, doesn't it? So you can.
It would have been nice. It would have been nice to have done that method, because then you guys wouldn't have done what you've done. Chris. It would have been fact.
Because you can do that, regardless of the case.
Yeah, I'm going down the methods of what needs to be resolved with all of that issues eventually. So you know, all I can say is if you guys haven't done anything wrong, you've got nothing wrong to worry about, then, have you?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your time today, given that especially you're not feeling well, and I'm glad that we've been able to with a plan.
The point of why I'm not feeling well is because of your actions. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Chris, for your time.
Thanks, Chris. You take care.
Okay.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
10:57 finish.